following program is intended for a mature listening audience. Graphic and explicit language may be heard at times. The views expressed and opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of this station or sponsors. Listeners are advised that neither the station nor owners and agents will be held liable for the content of this program. Rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without the express written permission without the host or producer is not allowed. You are listening to Family Spirit International.
Hey, hey, hey!
What's going on, Lee? It's Happy Monday to everybody.
We're Happy back. Monday.
Happy Monday on Family Spirit International with Lei and Blain. It's always a good show.
Oh, yeah. Blain, what you got in the cup?
Sweet tea. Alabama sweet tea.
Alabama sweet tea.
Yeah.
I just thought maybe you had some moonshine or something.
No, if I would have, I'd have already drank it and had to get off the show for a minute to go get more.
Well, I've kicked my shoes off, my boots up, getting my feet propped up here. Got my dog, the little one, not the snoring one.
Oh, well, I was going to say, where's my little Luna?
Oh, yeah. I don't know where she went. I think she got a bath yesterday.
Uh-oh.
So I'm in trouble. I gave the baby a bath and she's mad. Yes,
she'll get over it.
Yeah, she's I swear she's a little white dog, so she's allergic to everything.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was having to wash and wash her. So Sean's trying to connect with us.
All right on. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Facebook user. Hello, everybody that's listening tonight. We appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, can you believe tomorrow my little granddaughter, Penny Jessen, will be 16 tomorrow?
Oh, my gosh. She is an amazing child, too. Amazing.
She's my angel child with devil horns, and I love it.
She is. My little Isabella's like that, too.
Oh, Bella is a trip.
Ooh, she's a trip.
I love me some Bella, man. She is like the first time I saw her, y'all had left the room, and she just sat there and gave me this look like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I'm sure that's what she was thinking.
Am I going to like you or not? And then next I know she was my friend, so I guess they worked.
Yep. So I texted Mia the other day, and she didn't text me back, and I was like, "What is going on?" With my daughter, why doesn't she ever text me back? And about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, she said, "I'm sorry I didn't text you back or call you. I was dealing with this." I don't know if you can see it, but she got into the permanent markers and did a tattoo. I tattooed Mama. And then when Mia couldn't get it off, that was her saying, "Ha ha, I did a real tattoo, Mama."
Oh my God.
That monkey, she is something else.
Oh.
Charlie is so prissy in this one. She's just live action. Yeah. Live action. So crazy. we did an investigation last night, as you know.
Yeah. How did it
go? And we've got a little psychic child.
Oh, nice.
Yes. In fact, her little friend, her invisible friend, came across on made herself known on the, she was turning the flashlight off and on like it was a disco party.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was having a blast. Yep. And then she started working with the cat balls. And so it's been a lot of fun talking to the little girl. Sean's going to come on in just a few minutes. He's been super busy. There's a time difference between us. And I messed up and thought he was supposed to be on last week, and it wasn't. So he's coming on now.
Right on.
He's a great guy. 28 Days Haunted is a fantastic show. Yeah. And I just feel like, he's going to have some insight for us, because that whole 28 days theory of working a case 28 days straight can give you insight into something that, you need to know in order to get
Yeah.
control of it. And you know, it can be something pretty severe, or it could just be layers upon layers of haunting.
Yeah.
Different eras on top of each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly. I can't recall, and I didn't study it very well before he came. I did watch it again, but
Yeah.
I was typing and doing my paperwork and stuff for my regular job, and I don't recall the history of the location where he
Yeah.
was.
And the cool thing about it is, like, most of us investigators don't get to go to a place for 28 straight days.
I
So that
know.
was a great thing in itself, because now you've got that 28 straight days and see, okay, you're getting this activity. Are you getting this activity the next day or the next day, or you're getting different activity? And
Yes.
there's some.
I know that the Warrens practically moved in with some of these families
Yeah.
because they were so severe.
Yeah.
The hauntings were so intense that they felt that was needed. So, you know, I mean, what a gift. I would
Yeah.
love to be completely immersed into a case. Now, if it's something very serious, very negative and dark, being involved in it 28 days, that would be a lot.
See, I think I would thrive on that, from being
Yeah.
military and being shot at every day. I
Yeah,
think I would
I think
thrive
you
in
would
that
too.
environment. And I think it would be so active being there, because I'm not giving them my energy. But I got 28 days. I could pick up everything you're doing. I know what you look like. I know what you act like. I know your energies. And see, that would be fascinating to get that scientific side of it, just to see what would go on in that.
I think so too. I mean, I've been trying to get with Tony Spira.
Yeah.
Shapira. That wasn't working out. Sorry. I'm asking Gwen if she'll go over to YouTube, because she takes 2 laptops and puts them up. And
Nice.
she's got the Facebook chat, and then she's got YouTube chat.
Right
So,
on.
oh my goodness, I didn't forward it to Christopher.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got to work the
Our chat room. Yeah. One of the
yeah,
chat rooms.
because I mean, we can't do both. That's just not,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
too
it's
much.
it's harder for me too, because I've got you guys on my little laptop. It's not that big, and the glasses are about due for new ones. So if I have to look up glasses, I
Oh,
look like I'm straight. I was supposed to go get new glasses Wednesday, but they sent us back to the office for Monday and Wednesday, so I had to get that appointment. Plus, we're down to one car since of the wreck, so I had to cancel my eye appointment. And getting an eye appointment with the VA, I'll probably push back another 6 or 7 months. But that's the only thing I
yeah.
can do.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Here comes Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Da da da! There's Sean.
Hey,
Hey,
what's going on,
Sean.
brother?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Man. Glad you could make it, brother.
Okay,
Yeah.
ladies, those of you that have been messaging me, here he is. Okay? Yes, he's handsome, but so are we. They've been driving me crazy. Oh, Sean's coming. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, thank you, archangels of the paranormal, for being on. Yes, somebody's saying yay. Good job. Everybody's happy to see you on. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for coming on. And sorry for the scare last week. So,
Oh,
yeah. So if everyone, if you have any questions for Sean, please let us know. We have 2 people monitoring the chat rooms. We've got more than one, so they're going to let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were just talking about the theory of taking 28 days to dig into a case, which is the show premise, and you can uncover things about the case that you would have never before. And Blaine was saying, because he's military, he feels he would be okay being in the battle zone, sleeping in the battle zone, eating in the battle zone. Me, it's like, okay, I got to go to my hotel. I got to go to the campsite. I got to, get out of here a minute. Let me go get a glass of muscadine wine. I'll see you in the morning. I'll be first one here, I swear. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, let me just jump back. And I don't know. How did it feel for you? I mean, what was it?
Well,
I know you fought so hard and you dug in so much and your gifts were so apparent, but personally, the background story,
well, yeah. I mean, I've investigated places that I've gone long periods of time. I've stayed for like 7 days at a time and things like that nature. But again, like you said, I mean, we could go to a restaurant and have a beer and have a social experience.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no outside contact with the entire world.
Yeah.
And two gentlemen I was in the house with were friends for 12 years, and I don't just met them. So I
Yeah.
isolated out there myself. Um, and that just prolonged. I mean, again, it's not just sitting there and eating and just hanging out in the house and waiting for stuff to happen, which can still be draining if you're just living in a place that has that type of energy,
Sure.
depending on the types of spirits that are there and the reasons why, and the types of
Right.
that they emanate and project into the environment, because your emotions can be affected by that, whether you're sensitive or not, being there for long periods of time. But we were investigating, we were engaging spirits every single day, 7 days a week. And so there, like, even if I slept a nice solid 8 hours, like I'd feel kind of like normal. But then, like, as soon as I would start to investigate and we'd start to engage spirits again,
Yep.
I like, and by the third week, I was like slurring my words. Like I
I
literally,
wondered about that.
and actually it was making me more like tap into stuff. But at the same time, like I just was at the edge of like, I can't do anymore. It wouldn't even matter if I slept. It was just like, I can't. I felt like I was more spirit than I was human. I mean, like,
Right. Did
uh,
these things invade your sleep? Because, I mean, here you are, psychic and a demonologist in the thick of it. I mean,
yeah.
did it give you a break even when you're sleeping, or did you?
I mean, again, I mean, the show's called 28 Days Haunted, but considering like we were there for that actual 28 days, but I don't know if the show should have been called 28 Minutes Haunted, because that's pretty much all you saw. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much more that happened. I mean,
Yeah,
that
I
show
know.
half hours, and there's 3 teams, and I think each team has a screen time about an hour and 15 minutes average.
Yeah.
So just think about that. I mean, we were investigating every single day, and our investigations would go into many different directions with the different layers of the history. I mean, one night we'd get connected to these spirits from this time period, another time, and of
See?
course they have
Yeah.
the cohesive story, and obviously
Yeah.
there is a main scenery when it comes to the story, and of course, obviously the most prevalent story associated. Hello, David. To the entire place was really the Mercy Adelaide, Captain Grant story.
That's right. That's what it was. I
Yeah.
watched the show again before having you on, but then because I was doing paperwork, I couldn't put what was happening in your location. I had them all separated, and
Mhm.
but what I really appreciate, even though you had 28 days, you could have done a whole series.
I mean, the way that I pictured it, I thought would have been the best to do one of two things, because we didn't know that was only going to be like 15-minute episodes. I mean, we had no idea how that whole setup was going to be.
Yeah.
But to me, my opinion is that they should have either done one team, one location, 6-hour episodes for a location, because then you can actually see character development
Yeah.
and all the evidence that we get, because there's so much paranormal evidence you didn't see, and including my experience that I had with Mercy Adelaide, which is, I mean,
That was my next question. You read my mind.
there's so much more that didn't happen, and again, they have to just go with whatever works in a small bracket of time, and they have to consolidate that down. They should have done that, or it should have been, in my opinion, 3 teams, 3 seasons.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Have it in series for each location. Whether you needed to bounce, just to keep it like a teaser going for each one, like they do. I know this sounds weird, but like soap operas, they'll bounce from one thing to another. And for us watching, when it would switch from one location to the other, we could feel the intensity. Time it switched over, even though you didn't get as much time, we still could feel how much you guys have been
Oh yeah,
working in the thick of it.
it was intense for me because I was sensitive, like you said. Like I was waking up all the time.
Yeah, I thought so.
You know,
It started showing under your eyes a little.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'd just raise up my hand like while I'm sleeping. I'm like, oh, someone just whispered in my ear.
Yeah.
To
That's what I was afraid
stand
of.
in my bed. I mean, it was all the time.
But you kept your composure. I mean, what I mean by that is you kept the authority
Right.
walking in
Yeah.
there. It never took you off your feet. You never felt like you were.
Well, again, I'm versed in this type of stuff, so I've been like on some true dark cases before, and I
Yeah.
know
Well, it showed.
negative
It showed.
do. They, being in a place that long, and if there are negative energies there, they know exactly what we're doing. So we're basically like gerbils in a cage, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna F
Yeah,
with it.
because they could see all of the monitors, in one location, like a command center, and you guys were out in the field.
Yeah. So,
We got somebody here saying, too bad they can't re-edit and show more of what was missing, like an like a director's cut.
There's so much. I mean,
Oh,
and again, like my experience too, like it was so beautiful, and that's why I had to make a video about it. I don't know if you're aware of the song and everything.
oh yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't have just it's not just because I was a part of that experience, but like it's so beautiful, it's so profound that it would have been like one of the most talked about experiences on the show because it was so unique, it was so genuine and real and raw, and it doesn't have to be like eccentrically scary and climactic like a horror movie. I mean, people would have just been so connected to that story, and then the way it ended and like play the song at the end, I mean, like that would have been so cinematic, and people would have been talking about that for a long period of time. But either or, I knew in that experience when I happened with her, which you probably saw the video on YouTube, then you saw the
beautiful whole, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, you
really emotionally connected there, and that was your tribute. Beautiful.
I knew that my reason for being there was my connection to her. I didn't care about the cameras anymore.
Yeah.
I knew this was something that was going to go way long past, being on a show. And I knew it would be a part of my lectures in the future for many years to come because it's so powerful. It's so beautiful and yet sad at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But, I had some sort of connection to the story there. And if you saw the video, I mean, finding out that I went to go film the video because my filmmaker buddy lives in Wilmington. And, while we're sitting there we're getting ready to film the video, my buddy wants to know a little about the story. And I randomly find out that, Captain Grant had actually shipwrecked about a few hours out to sea from where I was on the beach filming the music video. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Wow.
And then like finding out the quote that he wrote on the day that he built Captain Grant's Inn on 1754 saying, God bless my family and this and that. And it was February 13th, which was my birthday. I'm just like,
wow.
This is crazy.
Serendipity.
Yeah.
So that's the way I take away from it. And I know that's why I'm thankful to be a part of that. And yes, being in a place for that long gives you the chance and opportunity to connect with a soul in a way that most people don't, even people in the paranormal field, because we just go in there for about 8 hours in one night and call it a day, even though some things will follow us. But, living in that environment where these spirits manifest and have the permission to mostly is really that opportunity increases over time. Yeah. That's what I focused on. And I know there's going to be always drama and stuff like that. And, there was a little bit of that on the show. But again, like when you're in a place for that long, these things will try to make us fight with each other. And
oh God, yeah.
Stuff. That's what I was trying to kind of just keep it all together. And to be honest with you, like I knew it because the first week, the cool thing was like, obviously we lucked out is that we were in a nice bed and breakfast. We had a big backyard. And I felt bad for Brandy, her team, and Jeremy. Yeah. I mean, they were in some like good store and like they had a makeshift shower sleeping on the floor for that long.
Yeah. Jeremy said it was horrible. Yeah. Jeremy's a good friend of ours. He was like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know how they.
Said, it's funny. Jeremy lives in Louisiana, dude. And they got hunting camps. He said, I've been to hunting camps that are better than the place we were at.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal what they had to go through. But at the same time, like, even though it was a nice place, it was still so draining. And it's very hard. Toward the third week, it was like, I don't know how much longer I could do this. It was all worthwhile in the end.
Yeah.
Of course,
Well, Sean, you can say too, you've got to do something that not many people, investigators get to do. You spent 28 days in one location. So you got a feel for the energy in the house, if watching it change. I'll call it peeling back the onion. You were getting this time period, you get this time period, you get these people over here, this over there. And for 28 days to get the research you guys got to do was just, I'm jealous and I admiring what you guys did because I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah. I mean, of course, but we just didn't even know. You try to be different every day. Like, what are we going to do tonight? You just didn't even know what to do anymore because we've done everything you could imagine.
Yeah.
I love the different methodology.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, his name's just jumped out of my head, but he was in the tent in the water. Looked like he was just freezing. Shane, yeah. I thought that was really interesting, and the God helmet was very interesting. And watching even just the candles that were suspended from the ceiling, and suddenly now they're actually being used as pendulums. I mean, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just being able to relax and really try to take in the place instead of doing your same routine investigating.
Right.
Base readings, everybody,
Well,
gets a chance.
The warrants really came up with that. I mean, number one, obviously, I think we all know they took it from the Amityville Horror House case.
Yeah.
The Lutz family got up and left after 28 days and left all their furniture behind. And it's probably just used that as some sort of theoretical example of, what the cycle is of a haunting from day one to the last day in a perfect setting of a perfect haunting. But obviously, I don't think they expected for people like us to be actually engaging spirits every day.
Yeah.
Because, a family's just going to be going and living in there and stuff's going to happen. Well, we were actually engaging them, investigating, researching like every single day while we were there the entire time. So, but again, that leads you to having some profound experiences like I did. So I'm very thankful for that.
So if those of you watching, if you haven't caught the show yet, it's 28 Days Haunted on Netflix. It's a fantastic show. There's several episodes, and there's teams that are in 3 different locations, and you just have to pay attention and keep up. It's fantastic.
Now, Sean, did you ever have time to ground yourself while you were in the house?
Oh, I had, what I do to ground and, blessing myself with holy water. Yeah. I do this when I'm home. Because things follow me home from all the places I go to. I bless my place constantly because it's never quiet for a long period of time. It's just things happen on and off.
Now, Sean, what I had to do, because I'm an empath medium like you are, and I had to set boundaries, man. It's like once I go through my bedroom door, that's my time. I'll be here all day tomorrow. As soon as I walk out that door, you can talk to me again. And I've got mine where they'll understand it. It's like if I was in the house like that. See, you use probably a Christian base for yours. Mine's Native American. So I call upon all my ancestors. I call upon my spirit animals. I call upon my spirit guide to watch and protect over me while I'm in a place like that.
Right.
And I'm pretty well protected. So I don't have to shield myself as much as some mediums do. And but I don't never use my own energy anyway. I let it just flow through me. And I like I always tell my clients and stuff is, look, they don't play fair, so why should I play fair? So I've got a bunch of Native American tribes I can call at any second that will show up. And they love doing battle. So I thought that would have been a little bit different stroke because, they kept coming to you. I'd be like, okay, y'all want to play? Let's play.
Well, what it is that when you're in a place, again, where so many spirits reside and you're constantly investigating every single night in that environment, is that, like I said, no matter even if you have sleep, you become drained. And when you're drained, your vibration drops.
Oh, that's right.
Negative energies can actually get to you, and you're more susceptible to their influence when you're drained. And that's where you have to be more careful. And that's why you're probably seeing some of the stuff that was happening in the house too, is because there was a draining going on constantly. Even if you rested, it's like I just felt like I was walking through, quicksand. It was just
I can imagine, dude.
Every day.
It's similar to being in combat for that long You know, because I've been to
I would think so.
Afghanistan, because every day we were getting rockets fired at us. Every day we were getting mortars fired at us, small arms fire. And then
Yeah.
you had little goofy ass kids throwing real rocks at you.
Mm-hmm.
So every day we went through that stuff, and we watched stuff people get. You know, every day I had to see at least 15 to 30 HR cases, human remain cases, get put on airplanes and sent back to Dover, or we get a bunch of kids, you know, coming off the battlefield that have been shot to hell and back. I saw those every day. That was, to me, I don't think there's anything a spirit could do to me, even an evil spirit, of what I haven't already seen and been through. I think that's what makes me a little bit stronger, what we do, because I don't play with them. I take charge, and I use my resources around me.
Right.
I wanted to read off a bit of Sean's bio. Okay, I didn't do that quite enough. So Sean is the team leader on the new series 28 Days Haunted on Netflix. He's a writer and producer with the Scare Network.tv, and he's also a producer on a docufilm called Maleficus, a true story of a demonic haunting. Did I say it right?
Yeah, it's actually the poster that's right behind me.
Oh, sweet.
Cool. And he is the former lead investigator on the TV series Ghost Loop with the Travel Channel. That's Ghost Loop at the Travel Channel. He's a singer and a songwriter. He's an author. Of course, he's a paranormal investigator, and he's the former host of Darker Side of the Paranormal radio show. He's born in the Bronx, but he lives in Connecticut. So very, very cool. It's so nice to have you on, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
It
Yeah.
is really.
Can you tell me a bit about what drew you, what led you into being a demonologist?
Well, I'd say that I got into the paranormal by mistake. I was obsessed with horror movies as a kid and horror movies, and I would watch all those documentaries like sightings on it, unsolved mysteries, and then there was the whole spur off of all the episodes of a haunting on Discovery Channel. And I just loved hearing about these like stories of the unexplained. I really believed in the validity of these people's experiences. But it's funny, I never thought about, hey, I could just go down to a cemetery down the street and have an experience. I never thought about it until I was waitering at a restaurant with a buddy of mine, and he was like the most skeptical person ever. And I wanted to take him to a cemetery so he could have an experience. But in that process, it wasn't about him. It was about me.
Yeah.
I had my first experience of a little girl's voice in front of a little girl's grave. And, I didn't realize I had it. It was when I had a flip phone. So the next night when I heard this child respond back to me, and it was just this defining moment, my trigger, so to speak, that I was like exhilarated and freaked out, but so excited at the same time. And then like 2-3 weeks later, I saw a shadow of a little girl at the corner of my bed. It was even light out. And then I started to have like a spiritual awakening. It was like a trigger. It was like lightning. Yeah. Because I didn't think I'd become like I have a spiritual awakening in the middle of my life. I'm thinking like the people that have psychic abilities would have it so pronounced when they were younger and in impressionable stage. And like, even though looking back, there were signs, but this was like, it really like happened like out of nowhere. It was like, boom, there it is. So in that process of having experiences in the paranormal, I started networking and people, and looking at people on Facebook. And then like, when you start adding a couple people on paranormal stuff, then everyone starts adding each other.
Yeah, no.
And then like I just got asked to be on a podcast, and then people were bringing me on podcasts, telling about my experiences. And I guess the way that I was actually explaining myself about my experiences, there was like a resonating theme of people saying, well, you have a calling and like, deal with dark things. And I'm just like, I really didn't know what they meant. I'm like, okay, a calling. And it kind of translated into, I was co-hosting a podcast just like yourselves. And I loved it because I love to pick the brains of all the people coming on again with their experiences, be able to ask my own questions that made, tickled my curiosity.
Yeah, exactly.
Including Ralph Sarchi, who was the inspiration for the 2014 film Deliver Us from Evil. Eric Bana played a cop. It was based off Ralph's, some of his demonic cases. And I found him on Facebook, and he's like, can I call you? I'm like, okay. And then I am on the phone for him for 2 hours, getting into a really deep spiritual conversation. And he did the podcast, and then he asked me if I wanted to come on some cases with him, and I was just like, whoa.
That's so cool.
Let's go.
I was like, hell yeah. And that's really how that happened. And then I ended up on the first TV show as a part of, which I never expected that either. I was just going out because I was so excited that the things were real, and I was just going out with a K2 meter, a spirit box, and an audio recorder. I just wanted to show everybody the evidence I had, because I'm like, oh my God, it's real. It's actually real. It's not just about watching on TV. It is actually real.
Oh yeah.
I was on the Demon Files, which was on originally on Destination America.
I remember that show. Yeah.
I was an investigator on the show for Ralph on those 3 episodes. And from there, I ended up publishing my first book. And, Ralph obviously mentored me in demonology, and known him for many years now. And, I didn't know what I would deserve to have that title, demonologist. But, one day, years back, Ralph just said, Sean, you're a demonologist. I'm like, what?
What?
I don't know what to do, what I'd have to do to deserve that. So I feel a little uncomfortable, but I mean, someone of Ralph's stature and his respect in the field of what he's done, I mean, he's my mentor. I'm like, I guess I am, so, I mean, it's obviously the way I approach the cases, the way that, he approaches the cases. That's pretty much how that really spurred off and that calling. And even my first book, Shadow Chaser, kind of a reoccurring theme of people with this calling thing. Another little interesting tidbit is that I didn't just come up with a cool name for my book, Shadow Chaser. A friend of mine showed my picture to a psychic she really trusts that does not know who I am, and showed a picture of myself and asked her, what are your psychic impressions on him? And she said that he's a shadow chaser. She's like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, he's meant to take shadows and send them back to where they belong. So that's why I called my 2 books that, because a psychic kind of gave me a spiritual, name to what I do. And it obviously has been my reoccurring theme up until this point, to say the least. So
that's cool. Well, we've got a couple questions here. So the question from Gwen, how have your abilities changed after the show ended?
Well, I'll tell you one thing too, is that the day I was able to leave the property, it took me about 2 weeks to feel back to normal, because that's all I knew was that property. Every little crevice, every corner, it was kind of like prison. I mean, obviously not as bad as prison, but it's kind of the same principle, because all you have is like the yard outside, the cafeteria, and your prison cell. And that's all I had. I mean, I'd look at the cars driving by and be wondering about what's going on out there in the world.
I bet.
And, the first day I left the property, it felt so weird to be in a social environment with around random people, because I was like, it felt so strange. And the first thing I wanted to do, I was like, that's it. I'm going to get drinks and getting a buzz tonight. I need to do I need to be like the most social environment experience tonight. Yep. And I went out with my friends, and I'll never forget, we were sitting at a table, and like my right ear just started ringing like crazy. And then the light started flickering above the table.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I heard like someone yell out my name, Sean, and my friend next to me heard it too. And there was nobody there. Oh,
wow. They were wanting you back.
It was just like, it was around me. It definitely took like a week or 2 to really get back into the normal routine of what we're accustomed to in life with your daily routines. It's definitely pretty wild, but I mean, I think obviously the more that you use your abilities, it's kind of it's a muscle, it's a spiritual muscle. So the more that you actually harness that and use that, the better it gets. So, I mean, I definitely feel like my abilities have, progressed from there for sure. I think it's still like a progression. Like, again, I've known about my abilities, since I began the paranormal within that first year. So it's probably 13 years I've really known about my abilities.
Now, Sean, you are about to get several upgrades. My spirit guides are telling me, be prepared. There's new stuff coming your way, and you will know it as soon as it happens, because it'll feel a little bit different. Then it'll feel comfortable to you.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm all open to upgrades.
Yeah, buddy. I love my upgrades. I've been doing this since I was 4 years old. I grew up across the street from a graveyard, dude. So I got to go ghost hunting literally across my own street.
Damn, you got Tonka toys and spirits. Nice.
Dude. I tell you what, we went over there because it was nobody knew who owned the graveyard, dude. It was all grown up. But they had some of the best blackberries, best wild plums, blueberries. And we go in there and pick garbage sacks full of them with my grandmother. I was 4 years old. I'll never forget this. we had to cross a busy street to get back to the house from the cemetery. And my grandmother made me stay. And I was like, why are you making me stay? And all of a sudden I heard her, not my grandmother, I heard this lady. And I looked to my left side and there was a lady, a beautiful lady with a white dress on, and she was bawling over this grave. And, since I'm a nice little Southern boy, I went over there and said, ma'am, are you okay? And I'll never forget this, dude. She looked at me and smiled, says, I'm okay now. And I watched her just go from a solid figure to gone in like a second. And my grandmother was tripping out because she saw her too, because she's got the gifts. And as soon as I got safe across the street, I heard her screaming, I knew you had the gifts. I knew it.
That is such a cool story.
That validation,
Yeah, I would like to see you guys get a second season if it's something you guys wanted to do.
I mean, of course I would do it, but I mean, at this point, it's already been.
You've already been there, done that, so now it's.
No, I mean, it's been so long. I don't foresee that happening. To be honest with you, it's been already. I mean, we filmed that in the summer of 2021, came out in the end of 2022, and here we are in 2024. So what I've been doing is that, like you said, ScareNetwork.tv, and what I really love about working with Billy, who's the founder of ScareNetwork.tv, is that I have complete artistic control. I don't have to go, and of course, if there are opportunities that come my way, then that's meant to be. Then, I'll be a part of that when it comes. I know that there's a lot of crazy things going on in the TV world with mergers and big companies.
I know.
At some point, they'll probably start opening up again and probably be looking for projects. And, I don't think I'm done with TV. I feel it. Like I hear stuff in my head, but whatever's meant to be, whatever I'm supposed to be a part of, it's fine. But I've done a lot of documentaries on ScareNetwork.tv, probably like a dozen. We have a documentary on Shanley Hotel coming out probably in a week.
Oh, I love the Shanley. Oh,
yeah, I love the Shanley too.
You went up at Napanock?
Yeah, Napanock. Is that what I say? I think it's Napanock, right?
Napanock. I'm Southern, so it sounds different. All right, next time you get to go investigate when you're up on the bordello, tell Annie I said hi. She's one of the spirits there, Annie.
Yeah,
she's very male friendly. Yeah.
She's probably here right now.
That's why I'm thinking about her.
She was in my live last night. I had a little live thing here. She follows me all the time and asks me to marry her with a ring.
No, that is Annie.
Appropriate. All the time.
Dude, inappropriate ain't even the word for it. I'm a military guy, and she made me blush, so that's saying something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We have it on the documentary, too. We were up there, and there was...
Right on.
Oh, it's like, I want to, something. It's ridiculous, yeah.
So she had high hopes.
I started calling her Annie the Fanny because she wanted to show her fanny, let me tell you.
The Fanny. Oh, my Lord.
Oh yeah, no. If you like, people watch my lives when I go on TikTok all the time. They all know Anna. I mean, she's funny. She comes through all the time, and in my place too. It's crazy. She'd be like, "Come to bed" on EVP.
Woo! Goodness gracious!
I have heard her say, and it's funny. I've heard her say that at different locations I've been to too. It's like, Andy the Fanny, you following me again? I say, now she's following you too. So. Now she's got groupies, dude, Sean.
Oh, and Kim's going the Fanny. Oh, Lord, that's so funny. So we got a question here. So many ghost hunt shows basically run around, ask a lot of questions, and then leave. Since Sean was there for so long, was the approach different, and did he get to know some spirits and see any of them?
I think it's
yeah.
Yeah, I think that we talked about that one.
I mean, obviously, I'll tell you, when it goes back to, even if you watch the show Ghost Loop, and I think the most proud part of me being a part of that project, with as much drama as we had on that show, but the one proud thing that I did is, if you watch that show, is that I prayed for the spirit at the end of every episode. That's something that's a part of who I am. And if you watch my investigations, That's always what I do. I offer prayer. And I think also because of my genuine intention, willing to try to help these spirits, and not just to say, do a backflip for me and run out of the place and they're still stuck in this realm. I think that there's a mutual respect there. I think they can see an aura around you and know that your intention is genuine, not for materialistic reasons. And they're willing to come forward and do more for you and manifest more and use energy that is draining to them. It's very reciprocal in nature, with that over and over again. And I did that also 28 Days on It. I prayed for Mercy Adelaide, and I do believe that she was freed from that prayer. And again, watch that video on YouTube, Mercy 28 Days Haunted. It's a 20-minute thing of evidence you didn't see on the show, and the music video of the song that I wrote for her. And again, I really do believe I basically co-wrote it with her.
That's awesome.
Her humming EVP that she hummed to the song that I came up with, that song.
Oh my God, dude, that's awesome.
House. She's that's part of the song. It's in the background, so she's literally like singing. She's part of the song.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
That is. I was going to say, did you got her recording and actually put it on the song as well?
Yeah. If you watch that whole video, you'll see all the evidence. She hummed the melody to the song that I was playing by myself out in the backyard somewhere by myself, and playing around the house. And usually when I would write a song, I'd hum melodies to it. And when I was upstairs in this scene you didn't see on the TV show, it was like the most profound emotional paranormal experience I've ever had. Of course they cut it all out. But it went a lot further than what you saw in the chair. I'm sitting there in the chair trying to tap in, and I had a few things happen. I saw a golden locket, and I saw a young, beautiful brunette woman. And in this moment, I realized that the older lady that was coming to me in bed, that was Mercy Adelaide, but she was showing me what she looked like as a young, beautiful woman. She wanted to show stages of her in life. Yeah. And from there, I saw what I believe to be looking out the eyes. I was remote viewing through the eyes of somebody, and I could see a ship going off in the distance. And there was these two rock boulders in the water. And, I just knew that was the captain going out to sea. And then from there, I could see the back of what I believe to be the captain. And it was very, if you know about psychic visions, obviously, it's kind of like that documentary. It looks kind of blurry. You're trying to tap in and clear it up so you can understand what's happening in a very short moment. And it looked like he was dodging something with the steering wheel, like, I don't know, a storm or whatever. And then she kept on saying shipwreck to me, shipwreck. And from there, I started to feel like the torment of the heartache throughout all the years. And I was going through something still around that time. And she knew that. She knew that. That's why we intertwine so much, because of this heartache, like this crazy spiritual connection thing. And I can't even fathom what she went through for decades, just at the thought of her love coming back down the road as she sat there. And my psychic vision, which you didn't see on the show too, is that I believe I'd see her writing these notes like to him, because in those days you don't have cell phones, you can't call somebody, but she, writing these things down. And that's why the first lyrics of the song are, I savor your lips of each day. The wind is my only company. These few different words. I put that as the first line of the song. And that's what she was doing. It was a release for her. And I think that's why she was so thankful that I was able to, extend this torment, this heartache, but turn it into a positive light, which I think led to her being able to transition. Because we had her on EVP saying, I'm here without my captain. I'm sitting in that chair, and all of a sudden, at this point, I started to become emotional. I started to tear up. I started to stop, and I'm just like, stop. I'm like, I can't handle it. I'm about to like really just, and because all of a sudden I started to hear in my head, this has never happened to me before. I heard the chords of the song that I wrote for her playing around the house. The chords of the acoustic guitar was playing inside my head. And this emotional explosion within myself, I had to get up from the chair. I could not take it. I had to run downstairs and open up the side door and get some fresh air, because I was sobbing. I was like, I can't stop because it was hitting me so hard. And, in this moment, she was just like, you were meant to come here. You captured my essence. And so then the next day, I woke up. Now, I had a burner phone with me. It's an old phone, but I recorded audio during this whole moment. Thank God I did. and I was recording audio, and I just literally could not believe myself, because right before you hear me say, "Oh my God, she knows about the song," I can hear the chords in my head. She knows. And right before that is when you hear her humming the melody to my song. And
Oh,
it's not even just one part, it's two parts. She hums both parts to
Oh,
the,
that's beautiful.
and so I freaked the F out.
You can
And
say it. You can say it on our show. We're not
okay,
uncensored.
so I freaked my guitar, my acoustic guitar, that luckily I brought with me, because
Oh,
because I asked him, could I bring it? Because I have no TV, and like I was a musician and singer is my first passion.
Yeah.
So I take the guitar and I take her EVP and I put on the computer and I play the chords, and she's humming the melody in perfect key to my acoustic
that's
guitar.
beautiful.
I mean, that is just absolutely insane. So I play it for them, and they're just like, wow, this is like really crazy. And that's why, and then I led up to the night right before I prayed for her. And this is on the video on YouTube, Mercy 28 Days Haunted. Just type that in. You hear her right when I turn on the spirit box, immediately, clear as day. She goes, "Sean, I want to learn how to play the song." I mean, I can play it for you right here on the show.
Nice.
oh,
Hey, Sean, I want to tell you this. Okay. I just had her come through to me. She says, "Tell Sean, thank you. I'm with my captain now."
Good.
That's the exact words I just got from her. And
Good.
she's so grateful. Captain is grateful, dude. He is like, I can tell you this now. You have 2 more spirit guides that'll help you now, and you don't even have to ask for them because of what you did for them. They owe you an eternal favor. So you've got them anytime you need them. You don't even have to ask. They're coming.
Yeah.
It's protectors. Yeah.
And I just, so
She
that
was-
had been through the spirit box, and I prayed for her, and then I asked, "Do we help her?" And it goes, "Yes." But because of that whole thing with the song, that was the reason why I put flowers at the grave, is because of that experience specifically.
Oh, beautiful, man.
So, and like I said, I didn't care about the cameras anymore. My tears were as real as you can get.
Yeah.
I sat there and I said to her, even, I cut it out too. And like, when I go home, I'm going to write that song and I'm going to do it justice. This isn't just an idea. This is a mission now.
Yeah.
Because of this profound, crazy experience. Because again, I mean, talk about the validation of psychic ability,
wow.
telepathy,
Dude.
to the power of love, how it lives
Yep.
on long after death. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like so big. And again, it's such a shame they didn't put it on the show. But again, I knew I had to tell that story in my own way, even if they didn't. So I went home and I recorded the song, and I'll never forget when I got the final mix of the song. I was at my old place and I was listening at the headphones, and I got a vision of a woman in a green dress, and she gave me a curtsy. And I just knew in that moment that was her saying thank you. And
That is her. That is her, dude. Oh my God. You ought to see the smile she has on her face right now, looking at you, because she's watching you right now, and she's behind you. Her and the captain both are right
She's
there next to
beautiful.
you. Oh,
She's
she
a
is
beautiful
gorgeous.
woman.
And she said, "Thank you for remembering the
She
green
loves
dress."
you.
Yeah.
And then it goes further too. So the day the Netflix show came out, I was actually passed out taking a nap on this couch behind me right here. And then I had another vision of the woman in a green dress. And this time I saw her running up to a gentleman. It was a blurry vision. And he kind of just put her up in an arm and spun her around like a dance, and then just picked her up in her arms. And I just had such a good feeling. And I just knew in that moment that she had reunited with him.
Oh my God, dude. That is so beautiful, because that's exactly what she was showing me just before you said that.
Yeah.
And she said, "You made that possible." She says, "Nobody else even cared after I died about me. You cared more about me
Well,
and my captain. You and the captain are really true loves of hers. She loves you.
she
because
loves you as much as she does
Yep.
him.
Yep.
She does. She
Well,
does.
I was there that long too, and someone came in there and gave me a path into the light. I'd be very appreciative too, and
That's
why
what I'm saying.
it's so important to show
Yeah.
respect to these souls, because we're all brothers and sisters. We come from
Yeah.
the same source of light, so we should respect that even after death.
Mhm.
Oh, big time,
Oh,
dude.
absolutely. Healing
and-
comes in all stages
yeah.
of life,
And that
including
was a
death.
healing. That was a healing for you personally, and a healing
Well,
for
that's
her.
why they were missing each other, right?
Yeah.
Because she was in a different
Different layer.
resonance
Yeah.
because of her pain and suffering.
Mhm.
Right. She couldn't let
You
go of
know,
him.
she
And
couldn't
that's
let
why it's
go. And once
slow.
you helped her heal,
Yeah.
validated her feelings, helped her heal, then she was able to see him and they ran to each other's arms and
Mhm.
you got to see it. Oh my God, what a
And
love story.
it is, and it's because of you, Sean, that was, and it was predestined before you were even born. That was one of your jobs in life, was to get that lady back to her husband. And
Yeah. That's
that feeling for us to be
Oh my
against that
God.
medium, it is. I would rather get those feelings and literally somebody hand me a big check because I helped do something that helps somebody else, whether it's a spirit or a human being, and that's karma points forever, right there, man.
She doesn't agree with the shadow chaser, or what, what you were saying.
mhm.
She said, "You're keeper of the light."
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm. Well,
yeah. And she said to me, he's a light bearer. That means that you use light to fight darkness, but you use your light to help her, and I'm sure you feel exactly how much
I
appreciation she has
Joel
towards
comes to me
you.
all the time asking me
Yeah,
for prayer, and that's why I think it's so great
God.
when I pray for
Woo.
spirits, especially when I live stream, because these people get to witness this in real time. They know I've been
yeah,
doing this, not just in an edited TV show. This
yeah,
shit is real, and that's why I think it's so amazing to leave the spirit box on, because
yeah,
some of the stuff that they could say while I'm praying is that I've experienced throughout the years is just absolutely
dude.
astounding.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
were stuck from each other. They couldn't get together, and you joined
yeah.
them.
Hmm.
And you're their hero.
Yeah. And to
Because,
do that, dude, especially since both of
wow.
them were on different levels and different planes, they could have walked right past each other and never saw each other. Me and Lee had an example like that of a daughter and a little girl down at Sloss Furnaces, that the mother would walk right by, the little girl never saw each other. Me and Lee and her son got the mother and daughter back together for the first time in almost 100 years. You
Yeah.
probably did something. You did something similar to get her back with her, get her back on her captain's plane. So now they're even planed, and their vibes are just beautiful right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
And one of my students, she's also a team member of the show. Um, the show we're doing right now, and her name's Christy. She's one of the loves of my life. These students are so important. She posted something to me just now that said the dead cannot cry out for justice. It is the duty of the living to do so for them. And I thought, wow, that is amazing. She passed away without anybody in life being able to help her to bear her burden with her. She just withered away, and that was the end of that. She had people that came in and out of her life that she loved and they loved her, but nobody helped her heal.
yeah,
Mm.
And you being there, and so I guess the 28-day theory is true,
No.
because for you to be there for 28 days and become part of her spirit to the point where you guys wrote a song together.
yeah,
Like the Edmund Fitzgerald song is so haunting. This one is the
yeah,
same. And, wow, what an incredible moment.
Yeah.
And you know what? It didn't get on the show because it's your story to tell.
yeah,
Either
That's
or, I
your
had to tell it, and I wanted to bring visual to it, and
yeah,
create, some serious effort to that story to just give a perspective for ever really to understand how deeply that connection truly was for me.
yeah.
Do you feel her around you or the captain? Or do you feel that they are still together
I don't really
in
had
their
anything like stand out, but I'll like when I'm investigating, sometimes her name will come through.
She's there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Isn't that beautiful?
when
Yeah,
spirits transition, I think it's just a little bit more of a different ball game than the earthbound souls. Though, even though my dad passed like 2 years from past October, and I mean he's come through the spirit box. It's his voice, and I had and
yeah,
obviously things will play games and stuff like that. But I also associate my feeling when a voice comes through too with my intuitive
yeah,
ability, and I just know that was my dad, especially saying like some of the positive stuff.
yeah,
Uh, but but I think it's a little different ball game for some of the souls when they transition to the light for how they communicate with us. Um, but yeah, I mean, most importantly, I truly believe that like you all feel is that they're happy and they're back together.
Yeah.
And in that one instance, eternity is in that instance, because there is no conception of time in this
No.
realm. Past, present, future, all the same thing. So
Yep.
that's why we live in these bodies, and time does feel like a long period of time to us, and pain can feel very long. But in that one instance, you can be eternally at peace. So, and
Yeah.
that's something to look forward to, and a very
Yeah.
big privilege for us to understand and have, with the knowledge we have from the experiences we have in the paranormal, and knowing about spirituality, knowing that there is something after we live in this physical plane.
Yeah.
So I have I got to ask it. And Blaine, I'm asking it to you too, because I'm just going to kick this chair. I apologize. Let me get situated. Now, all three of us have we have several spiritual gifts. And you're able to pray for people, Sean, in spirit and in flesh, and help them. Blaine, you're able to protect people and to not just protect, but also get their stories. So, what do you feel is the piece of equipment that you can connect with that kicks that off? Because sometimes you just don't sit down and then the light switch is flipped and all of a sudden you're getting the download of everything, you know?
Well, I really love the spirit box
Yes.
because, that's what I said. Like, I leave the spirit box on while I'm praying for the spirits, because you'll start to hear the chatter of what potentially may be unfolding while you're praying. And that's why I've had so many astounding, beautiful, amazing experiences while this is happening. Like, typically I'll see like a white dove if a female crosses over, and then a white horse if a male crosses over. And then I'll say that, whichever one, and then I'm like, all right, did we help a female? And then she's like, thank you, I'm going to heaven, I see my father.
Yeah.
So, when you get all that validation and lining up to what you're picking up on, it kind of just brings that notion more to a true instance, to kind of push that, rather than just me saying, okay, I helped some spirit cross over. I mean, I'd rather have some sort of other, evidence of that leaning toward the direction, even though I can't definitively say, okay, I'm helping crossing over the spirits. Do I believe I have? Yes. But,
Yes.
in the end, I want to have some sort of evidence for people to see, like, wow, I really don't think these spirits are going to be trying to patronize me by my ego by saying that they're, help me, and saying, thank you, I'm at peace now. So I think that I love having the spirit box on to just have that straight up communication and to validate what I'm picking up. Because, us as people who are sensitive, have abilities, we are our own piece of equipment.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I look for the one that can helps me connect, because it's like it can help me pick up exactly, and then I start hearing the words or seeing their hands, or they start to form. Sometimes I can hear them, sometimes I can see them, sometimes I get to do both, and that's fantastic. But
to pick up that up, and then all of a sudden, like 1 minute later, the spirit box is literally either saying the exact words you said, or saying that's connected to what you just said. And it's like, there you go, there's your validation. That's what we all look through, and that's why psychics don't want to have information on cases, because your rational mind tries to fill in the blanks. So that's why it's so amazing to have that.
Isn't that a wonderful gift?
Yeah,
when we have that moment. What about you, Blaine? What's your favorite piece of equipment?
I like Sean. I love the spirit box.
Spirit box.
And one of the greatest things I love about it, not only the spirit you're helping cross, but I get so much satisfaction and validation when I have family members of the person I crossed saying, thank you for bringing my husband home. Thank you for bringing my daughter back. Thank you for this. And I had a soldier, a Buffalo soldier down in Texas that, if people don't know what Buffalo Soldier, it was a black soldier after the Civil War.
Thank you for that, because I was thinking, what?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I don't know why they called them Buffalo Soldiers, but that was the name that was given to them. But I helped a sergeant out, which was very rare to have a black sergeant, but in those times. But I helped him get back to his family, and all I heard was right before he crossed it. We got it on Ghost Box. It was so cool. I hear him say, thank you, Mr. Blaine. And then I hear this little girl. I said, thank you for my daddy. And the little boy, thank you for my daddy. And then the wife said, thank you for my family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I watched him go through the light and watched him turn back one more time. And I got a salute from him. And I was like,
Oh,
that is just phenomenal. And other people got to witness this too. So it was like the coolest thing because I got to help a family reunite with each other.
Yeah,
I
oh, yeah.
got,
I mean,
I
that's
got to
my
help him
favorite
get,
feeling too.
yeah,
You feel
I got,
purposeful in what you're doing.
yeah,
It's not just about the thrill ride. It's like,
exactly. And I got to help him get revenge on a white major that did some very nasty things to him.
oh,
I
that
got,
sucks.
I got to send him somewhere else. I didn't send him to hell, but I sent him back, and all he has to do is relive his memories over and over and over of every bad thing he did, and he will be stuck in that for perpetuity until I decide to let him out of it. And I might not never let him out of it.
Well, there you go. I guess don't be a douche is the lesson
That's it.
that wasn't learned there. Don't be a douche.
You'll
you
be
know,
a
Well,
big I can be too
everybody's
tough to
talking about what a great show it is,
yeah, you know
and
what? Just sorry to interject, but like
Please.
there was a documentary we just filmed that's on scarenetwork.tv. You can watch for free, and by the way, you can watch for free with that. It's just like Tubi on scarenetwork.tv. But anyways, so we went to this castle. I was asked to go check out. The owners wanted to possibly live there in 2 years, and right before I walked inside, the owner decided to tell me that they found like evidence of a ritual that had taken place with the word Odin and
Oh
sigils
boy.
and all this stuff. And then we went in there. This nasty, nasty thing was in there. Someone invited in, and it was pissed off because I'm like, all right, these people want to live here. I'm gonna have to do the exorcism ritual on this place. And so I actually did, and we had all sorts of crazy stuff happen. I mean, this thing was it's really, really nasty. It even followed us to the Shanley Hotel and tried to do a hostile takeover the entire investigation because we went there to
oh
film
my
there
God,
right after I did the ritual and the exorcism ritual in the castle. But anyways, in this process of over last summer, it was in the news about the case, the Delphi murders. And if you know about that case, the two girls that went missing and they were killed.
Yeah.
And it's really just strange coincidence. And of course, these signs, I just pay attention to them because I'm like, this is not just a coincidence. I saw in the news that, the suspect in the murder of the two girls, he said that he didn't kill them, that they were offered up to this cult, team of
Mhm.
Odinites. They have to
Yep.
Odin. And I'm just like, what are the chances of me running into this location and the first time on a case
Yeah.
running into Odin? And they're
Yeah.
talking about this. And, I decided to I really didn't know much about the case. So then I decided to look up about the case. And I realized once again, here we go. The day that the two young girls disappeared and were murdered was February 13th, my birthday.
Your
oh my
birthday. Yeah.
God.
So I'm like, with the Odin connection and my birthday connection, like, oh, that's it. I gotta go. So I
Yeah,
went
I have
to
no
the
choice.
second part of the documentary, and I went to the woods where the girls were found, and they were found with allegedly with sticks over them and like Odin symbols and runic symbols and stuff like that is what they say. And I did my thing. I prayed. And now, mind you, I believe that Libby's spirit was with me the entire week, giving me visions about what had happened and the EVPs I got. And, I prayed for her. Now, typically I see like a vision of like I said, a white dove, a female crosses over, but I prayed, but it felt so creepy to be there. Not because of the paranormal element, but like, there's like real people elements in this. Like, I don't know if there's like occult groups and like, I don't know what it is, but I was just like, I wanted to get out of there. I just wanted to show the respect and see if there's any connection to the castle. Cause I'm like, what this whole thing with Odin. So I prayed for her, and then I got in the car, and somewhere on the way back, I just had this really good feeling out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. She may have just crossed over. I just had a really good feeling. And for the rest of the night, I started to hear in my head, you cursing at me, this and that, and you swine, you took my virgin.
Oh.
So when I did the review of the EVPs after I prayed for her, there was this one EVP that just, when I heard it, it just ruined me. I started to tear up because I prayed for her, and she's like, I'm pretty in heaven. And it just, I don't know, it just ruined me. It just made me so sad. And I talked to some girl after that lived in Delphi, and she said that I told her about it and I played it for her, and she's like, that's just crazy because she allegedly would go around to her friends and say that she didn't think she was pretty.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
And so afterwards, I was investigating in Indiana while the documentary was being made, and all of a sudden this stuff starts coming through again. You took my virgin, Libby, and you know, it's just referencing how I crossed her over and stuff like that. It was just, and I still have that thing around. It's really pissed off. And that's the thing. Like, even though you do something nice, you have some nasty things that can come after you if you step in the way of evil spirits to try to take souls away from evil spirits. Because it's a different ballgame. You go into a home and you got people living in a house where evil spirits are trying to torment people and ultimately get their souls. But if you're talking about souls that evil spirits do have possession of already, and you take that away from them, they will
They
be
hate it.
They will be relentless. You
Dude.
got to be on guard for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you were
Let me-
dealing with blood of the damned at
Yeah.
that point, and you getting them free is like a miracle.
Oh yeah, you
So
took
there's
their
a price
toy
to
away from
pay.
them.
Oh yeah, there's a price to pay.
Hey Sean, do you want it gone?
I mean, because I investigate the paranormal.
No, do you
know it's
want
not
him gone?
Who? What? It?
Yep. You want the Odin person? Do you want him gone?
Well, he's supposed to be the god of the dead, right? Odin was a Germanic
Odin was
god of the
Viking.
dead.
He was Viking.
Yeah, but he was also associated with war and the dead.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was Norse.
Oh, you
Wasn't
don't?
Okay,
related.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking about a
This
later second
specifically, I feel like because they've used the term Odin also in Satanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like there's more connectivity on that side of the fence. So this thing is a facade. When I went to the castle, it showed itself as a
Okay.
woman, and it was
Yeah.
dancing around, and then came back with black eyes and fangs and stuff like that. So this thing kind of is like a shapeshifter. I mean, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yep.
mess with you.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's definitely demonic in nature.
So,
But it says it's
archangels of the paranormal says cut the cord of trauma, and you gave her words for the free will to make the decision to move on. So
yes,
that's how she was able to let go. Thank you, Thomas.
absolutely.
right
That's
on.
Thomas Gormley, my
Hi, Tom.
buddy, my
Oh,
buddy.
We like Tom.
I was so happy to do MassCon by my table just happened to be by Thomas's, and we kicked it off, man. We had a great time. We ran and got some lunch together because our tables were side by side and somebody could watch them both at the same time. And we got soup and sandwich and sat by their fireplace. And we had a very intellectual, spiritual conversation. That was a really cool moment. And he's my buddy. So, and he's wanting to know when you guys can get together and write a song together. He's a great singer and he plays great guitar. And
Nice, very
just,
cool.
I love to watch his videos. Okay, so what is your favorite place for ghost hunting, Sean? Do you like places that are like popular, or do you prefer going to a new place you don't know anything about?
That's what I would be my. That's typical.
Yeah.
See, that's Blaine, and that's what we are too. Me and
I
Blaine.
get really excited about going to a new place I've never been to. Now, are there some still famous places that a lot of people have been to that haven't yet? Yes, but yeah, going to a place that I've never been to or I've never encounter these spirits and communicate with them to that unknowing of what you might encounter compared to a place that I've been to time and time again is more of an excitement and a mystery that I look forward to potentially unraveling.
Yeah,
I even like residential cases for that reason.
I do too. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
because it keeps you.
Higher.
Yeah, we did one last night, and that it's just that Blaine, I need to talk to you. Okay. Sean, I might need to talk to you too. I'm gonna be straight. I would love to investigate with you sometime.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to work on some different tones, maybe that you could play that would be interdimensional, sort of like the interdimensional tones.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at some of them that were Tibetan sounds.
Hmm.
It just sounds sort of, I don't know, kind of throaty, kind of Mongolian sound.
Sure.
Yeah.
Although I love the sound of that. I love hard rock. I mean, really hard rock. And there's a Mongolian band that Matt turned me onto, and they are really intense.
Ooh.
Sort of like Five Finger Death Punch meets maybe a little bit of Disturbed, but they have the throaties, the sound with it, and they use all of their old old tones and everything that from that era,
Mhm.
and they're dressed in their regalia. Oh, it's just wow, 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 wow. And we went to see Stevie Nicks. Now I know that sounds like meat and potatoes. Everybody loves Stevie. She's been around for a real long time,
Mhm.
but no, she really is as powerful of a person as the rumors go. I was in the back, way back in the back, but dead center, and I could feel her energy. She would when she would move her shawl, the waves would come across all the way across over the top of our heads. It hit me in the forehead, and then it was right here in my face. And it was very sweet. It was very beautiful. It was healing type energy. There was nothing, ill intent to it. It wasn't anything like that. But I could feel her. She was amazing. And I want people to understand how important music can be. That's why I like such intense music
Mhm.
because you can. Well, Blaine's a musician.
Yeah, I'm a drummer. I like
He's a
beating on stuff.
I play guitar a little bit, so I can sing 5 notes.
I can sit there in the background and go, yeah, woo, yeah.
Yeah, so I can back you up with zest, but it might not be great. But I'll be there with bells on. I'll try.
Mhm.
I think you should do some more. Maybe oh, what if you did like people could send in some cases, and you could write love songs, from their cases, similar
That
to
would be interesting. Yeah.
sort of like your ode to mercy.
Yeah.
And then you'll have another one like one that hits me is Johanna from
Yeah,
that song
Oh yeah.
from the did you hear it was being
like
torn
Mackie.
down?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Bobby Mackey's.
they're
They're
building a new one.
they're getting a new one
Yeah,
going, so
It's
makes you
gonna tear
wonder.
it down. They're gonna build another one on top of it or something. Yeah.
probably. He probably will because the land's already paid for.
That's what I would do. So Thomas is saying he loves the unknown places. I do too.
Oh, they're fun.
I've got 3 events going for this next class that's coming up. I do 6-week classes and open the ghost hunts to the public. And we're going to, and Blaine's very aware of it because I've got him coming to all 3. I'm so excited.
Me too.
About a little over 10 years ago, I did a little Ghostland Paracon at Dixie because it was all Southern Civil War stuff. And it's in Aiken, South Carolina, which is extremely historic for South Carolina and the Civil War. The Battle of Aiken was there. And we're going to investigate the Carriage House Inn, which was a Civil War hospital. And it was a leprosy colony after that before it was a carriage house.
Hmm.
And besides having, various patients coming in and out, Lord, here comes my herd of dogs. Here
There's
comes your
Bella.
dog, Blaine.
Thank
Here
you, Luna.
come here, Luna. She snorted at me and ran back. She's ready for a treat. I have a
Ah,
French bulldog that is a diva. She always photobombs, gets on the videos of our shows.
Mhm.
But anyway, we're doing Aiken, and then we're going to a place called 6 Mile, South Carolina. And the 6 Mile, South Carolina location is on Lake Huey. And there were 28 or 38 Native American elders that all joined together. And there were some issues where people were attacking each other. And when officers were murdered by indigenous people, that was a big deal. That was real bad. And it was, you kill one of my officers and I'm going to kill 40 of your people, that kind of thing. And so after they fed them, they had this little summit thing. They killed them all. They hung them all. And they're all buried on Snake Island in Kiwi. And we're going to take our boat over to Snake Island and investigate. It's going to be pretty crazy. The 3 cabins that we're renting, it's part of a state park, but I tried to sleep there. It was my husband's 25th wedding anniversary, and that did not go well. We were expecting, 25th wedding anniversary. Meanwhile, we hear the front door open. We hear another door open. We hear footsteps. Now we're standing in the middle of the cabin with no clothes on, wondering who the heck is coming in the cabin. So Gwen named it the Naked Cabin, Blaine. That's what it's called. Matt threw on his shorts and stuff and went outside with his gun. Meanwhile, I'm standing inside the cabin wondering what happened. So we've got to figure out what's going on. We're getting ground penetrating radar. We're going to give some entities their voice back. I'd like to hear what they have to say.
Hmm.
The last one is Dryden, Virginia. and we're staying in a farmhouse that she called us and said, I need help. I have an Airbnb that I can't, my repair people won't go in there because they hear people talking and they can't find anybody in there. So we're going to go stay there, and we're going to Gap Cave. It's a haunted cave that's also a park, so we can go in there. It's not like it's restricted, but we are going to a haunted theater, and theaters are usually pretty interesting because there's so much energy spilled there, whether it's real or an actor, it's still energy. And so it can really create a lot of really cool things.
Hmm.
So those are the three things we're doing. If you want to come, you're welcome to. I'll send you the stuff on it. But I do know that Deep South Paracomic-Con is looking for some people, and someone just tagged the Sykes family who does the Paracomic-Con.
Of course.
It's in Ozark, Alabama. It's over near Blaine's Way.
Yep.
And we're going to drive there. So, if you're wanting to get out and about and see some places you haven't seen, it might be the way to go. I know we would
Sure.
love to have you. Everybody would enjoy hanging out with you. And you could
Yeah.
get sweet tea. Have you ever had real sweet tea?
Yeah, I've definitely been down south. Yeah, it's wonderful, and
It is.
I'm a foodie, so I love food. So
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
My husband said that he might bring the smoker. The next time, Blaine, when you
Ooh.
come, he's going to definitely smoke something when you come up here because we're working on it right now. That's why I was a few minutes late even signing on, because we're working on the area, because he's going to have 2 smokers and
Oh
a
yeah.
sink and everything. It's going to blow your mind. Well, Sean, how do we get in touch with you? How do we find your book? How do we find your... Going to have to hit you up for the Connecticut Paracon. Thomas Gormley says that.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you see my name here, it says Sean D. Austin. That's most of my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and X, alias from Twitter. You can get my books as well from SeanDAustin.com. I mail out signed books anywhere in the U.S. Otherwise, if you're outside the U.S., you can get my 2 books, Shadow Chaser and Shadow Chaser the In Between, from Amazon. And also ScareNetwork.tv. Like I said, it's a free streaming app with ads, just like Tubi. You can watch exclusive paranormal content and many documentaries I'm a part of. There's an app on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple iOS, now in Droid TV. Definitely check out some of those features. And yeah, be glad anyone wants to shoot me a message, any questions. And obviously, we're all like-minded and passionate about the subject of the paranormal.
We are, very much so.
Yep.
So where can we find your music? Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, so if you want to download the song Mercy, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes and all that stuff. And yeah, if you just type in my name in iTunes, I mean, my last few EPs are on there, including Mercy.
Right
Oh,
on. Dude.
okay. So we're going to need to everybody, we need to go download that. That's going to be fantastic, and see if we can hear the EVP along with Sean, with her singing along with you. Oh my God.
It's pretty wild, dude. That's on my YouTube. You'll be able to hear all that. Yep.
Oh man, that's intense. So Blaine, have you got any last thoughts or questions?
Well, I did want to ask Sean one question real quick before we got off the paranormal thing. I got to ask, what is not the scariest, but the stuff that made you go, what the hell?
We love those moments.
I
Oh
know.
my God.
I don't know if it's appropriate to say on the show.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can.
You can
Yeah.
say whatever you want, brother.
Well, taking it back to Anna from Shanley.
Anna.
Oh Lord, back to her.
One of the first times I came back from the Shanley Hotel, I was laying in bed and I had a vision of these 2 women with like old brown dresses on, and they were touching me, and I could hear, I could see an old dark record player playing and music playing. They were giggling and stuff.
Yep.
And
Oh, Fanny.
yeah. So I'm just gonna be frank here. I woke up right after this, and the best thing I can say is that I could smell the scent of a certain area of a female.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I recorded an EVP,
Yeah.
and then literally it was lick my
Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh
Dude,
my God.
One of the weirdest paranormal experiences I have ever.
That's why I asked you about Annie, dude. She said the same thing to me, but she had a few other choice words. And
Holy crap!
I can tell you this, dude. She grabbed my junk. When I said she
Oh, yeah.
grabbed it, dude,
Yeah.
she held on to it like it owed it money.
Like you owed it money.
Yeah. That's one that's really strange that sticks out. I mean, I've had a lot of really weird ones.
So that's funny. We both
There you are. She's looking at you, Blaine.
Yeah, hey, Luna. But
See,
I think
it's
that's
him.
funny.
It's really him.
We both know Annie from Shanley, man. That's the
Annie from Shanley. Fanny Annie from Shanley.
Yeah. Annie the Fanny from Shanley.
That's really crazy, though. The craziest thing that I have had happen with Blaine. Okay, we went to a cemetery that was a French Huguenot cemetery. We had our SLS camera popped up, and all of a sudden we see a couple floating by doing it. They were like, "Is that what it?" And then we'd turn the camera, and then here they come back, and it was very obvious because now you see it, now you don't, now you see it. I was like, oh my God, are we seeing this? And I was laughing my butt off. Oh my God,
don't forget the serial masturbator we had at Paulie Jail. Her husband Matt's filming, and Matt goes, "This dude's whacking his meat," and I was just I said, "I wanted to do ambidextrous." Next, and I heard Matt go, "Holy shit!" He switched hands. I'm dying.
I just had to do like this,
I'm sitting there watching. Me and Matt I'm surprised.
They're cracking up. I'm
surprised Matt didn't drop the SLS. I'm
surprised he didn't either.
Dude, I've seen a lot of shit in the paranormal field, but that's the first time I've seen a spirit jack off before.
I've just got to say, those of you think we're just floating around in the clouds in the next life, I've got some words for you, because that ain't it. That's not it. Yep. Me. I did go to Edisto one time, and we were going down this dirt road, and I just held my K2 meter out the window. The windows were down. It was hot as hell. It was like the surface of the sun. The sand was so white, and it would reflect up. So, we were all looking like lobsters. And we were driving along, and we were going to this one, it's like a plantation house at the end of the road, and it's supposed to be haunted. And they were asking people to, come see about it. So we were headed down there, and all of a sudden we got like a smell of swamp gas or something, because it was very swampy. It was after we passed the tomb of Julie Laguerre, and she's the one that was supposedly buried alive, and then she would blow the door off of her mausoleum, and they couldn't get it to stay on. They finally just had to leave it off. There's a whole legend about her. And we passed that, and then there were marshlands, like they say Edisto has. And wow. And I said, what is that smell? And the ghost box beside him said, gas, fumes. Meanwhile, this thing's going along, and I said, is it gas from the swamp or butt gas? And you can hear him, ah, ha, 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 like an old sailor, like a pirate or something.
Now, one of the things that Annie told me that had me cracking up, she said, son, I'd have gave you that pee for free.
We've had some crazy things happen. If it's not ghost hunting's not for the faint of heart, but you got to have a sense of humor too.
Oh my God! I mean, as much bad stuff as we have to deal with, it's fun to go the ones where the ghosts are joking around and cutting up.
Cutting up.
And they're funny sometimes. It's like like when the Dodge Charger was coming back, we were talking about setting up for an investigation, and I hear this spirit go, "Are you for real? They brought the Charger back?"
Really?
I'm like, damn, that's funny. And I did have a spirit at Old South Pittsburgh she told us, bye, Felicia, up 3rd floor. And then I swear to God, we had one on the 1st floor saying, I'm on Facebook. I'm like, what status are you? Are you dead? Is that your status? But you're on Facebook. Because I sure would have friended her if I could have found her on Facebook.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've had some funny ones. It doesn't sound funny when I talk about it, but it's funny because they're people that have recently passed, and they're talking to people that passed a very long time ago,
Yeah.
and they're trying to explain what the paranormal equipment is and what it does. And so, we'll get things like, just speak into the box.
Yeah.
Just speak into the box. Just hit it. Yes, they can hear you.
Those are fun.
Those are funny. Just little stuff like that'll make you laugh. It's not all scary. And it's
No.
not all jump scares either. I mean, those are fun, and that's what everybody seems to like because it's exciting. It's a kind of a roller coaster ride. But there's also the very beautiful and sentimental.
Yeah. Those I love just as much because you're watching that spirit, and especially when it's a family member actually getting to talk to a family member.
Yeah.
On one side, one's on the other,
Mhm.
and they get to talk and hear their father's voice again or their mother's voice again, and to watch the people's faces light up,
Yes.
not
Oh,
only the spirits but the human. And it's weird for us. It's like we'll be in an investigation somewhere, dude, and I will tell people, I said, look, when I start doing ghost boxes, you will hear people from your family come through. Well, it's like, all the ghosts that are here going to talk. I said, they will too.
Luna.
But I will have family members. It happens to me every time. So that they're like in shock when it actually happens, even though I told them it was going to happen.
She's looking behind the laptop looking for you, Blaine.
Oh, hello, Luna.
When Blaine stayed over here at the house, Luna just thought, he was here for her.
Yeah.
She's trying to find him. Oh, my goodness. Well, if you have a chance, Blaine did a show called, wait a minute. Hold on. It's on the Science Channel, and it's called Mystery Unsolved.
Mission Unexplained.
Well, see?
Yeah. And it is
Okay.
on the, and I'm on the first episode. But it's funny, though, like you're talking about TV filming, none of the story that I told them was actually what they put on the show. They rearranged words that I said.
Shocker.
But I know it was like, okay, I was telling them about an experience with a jinn over in Afghanistan and Iraq. Well, they made it out I was seeing a ghost of a soldier. I was like, I saw thousands of those every day. They didn't bother me. The jinn didn't really bother me. It's just cool as hell to actually notice they're real.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he liked the fact that I could
They're
see
ugly.
it. Oh, dude.
So
the
ugly.
The best way I can describe what I saw, dude, okay, it ain't like Aladdin you see on Disney movies.
No.
This thing was straight up fugly, man. It had like this little pointed looking head, but big ass face. It had these little beady eyes that, like, one was, it almost looked like he was cross-eyed. It looked like he was looking one way and looking the other with his eyes. And then he had this little button-ass nose that had just skin hanging off like it was a bunch of boogers.
Oh, my God.
And then this thing had this, little tiny mouth. And it opened, it had these damn Austin Powers looking teeth. I'm like, you one ugly motherfucker. Oh, you're just ugly.
The one that I saw, it was attached to a Middle Eastern object.
Yeah.
And it looked like Dobby and the Predator had a baby.
Yeah.
It was ugly and just creepy and very primal.
Yeah, this thing, it was like, and it's funny, we have another veteran friend of ours. He's a VA psychiatrist before he retired. And he said, Blaine, we heard story after story after story from soldiers being in Iraq and Afghanistan, actually seeing jinns, being around them, haunting them. And I'm like, so I'm not crazy. So there's several of us that saw that.
He's a VA psychiatrist, retired. Yeah. And he actually helped start the Rhine Center. He was on the board. So he's been around the paranormal a long time. And he came on to discuss with us the things that he experienced and how they were able to track how a lot of these curses are actually very powerful and how they're done, placed on our soldiers and how it's creating PTSD. It's awful.
Yeah, and this is funny too. It's he was on the same episode I was. Yeah, we did the same. We filmed separately, but we were on the same episode. Yeah, Robert Young is awesome, man. He's a vet, and he took care of vets, so I have nothing but respect because I am a vet myself. And but yeah, dude,
He lives over near Niagara Falls,
yeah,
and
buckle up.
he was telling me about this cave that boats will go in, and everybody is fine on the boat, and then when they come out, people are dead or missing, and all kinds of things, and they have given it this horrible name. And he was wondering, well, how would I feel about going in the cave? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't know what's causing that. My luck, I'll get stuck somewhere, and who knows what'll happen.
Believe
But
they'll give you back.
they'd have to give me back. They
They'll give you
wouldn't.
back.
They wouldn't like it. They'd want a refund for sure.
They be paying Matt to take you back.
Yes, come get her.
Here's $10,000. Just take her out of my hands, please.
Well, when I don't know if you've been able to see any of Repossessed, but when we did that, there was in the Vancouver scene, which is the last episode, we had someone come in that had a gin attached to an object, and that's how I knew what it looked like. And there was a lot of things happening in the morgue that we were in.
Hmm.
And a lot of things got slung around and stuff like that, and I just I don't have any words for it. When I start an investigation, I use the medicine wheel and amplify the energy.
Hmm.
And so that way we'll have whatever's there will have enough energy to speak to us.
Right.
And so that's what I did, and I may have done too much. I don't know. But Blaine's spirit guide came and helped us out, because he tells me, call her if we need her, because my spirit guide was in a fight with some asshole spirit, man. He reached over and grabbed a knife, tried to grab a knife out of the cabinet. You can see him reaching over for the knife. And I don't know if there's been any other spirit guides that's been on TV before, but Janoa was on, and so was Minnie.
Yeah, our
And
spirit
they
guides
were
are the only
whipping.
two ever got credits on the filming. But
Yeah.
they actually they got credits on the show. I was always jealous. I did the show with Lee, but I never got on air. I said my spirit guy got more airtime than I did on the show, and got her name in the credits. I got mine in the credits too as a consultant, but still, it's like who else could say their spirit guys got credits on a TV show?
That made me feel really good that they respected my spiritualism enough, to put that there. That meant a lot. It really meant a lot, and they were very respectful about recognizing different cultures, different religions. Oh, hello, NSPS TV from Texas.
Hello,
How's it
Texas.
going? Thank you for watching, Texas. That's awesome. We've had a lot of people on tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of people having things to say. ScareNetwork.tv is where you can see Sean's work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, y'all go check it out, man, because Sean's awesome. And you know how much we appreciate you coming on the show, dude, because you got, like you said, only you and two other teams can basically say we stayed in the same location for 28 days and walked in and walked out after 28 days still with your life. And I'm sure it took
and your sanity.
I'm sure it took a great toll on your physical body and your mental body, because being in war situations, we went through that every day, and that's why I think I could handle being something like that, because I'm used to being stuck somewhere, like a base. But I think it's pretty cool that what you got to do, and the stuff you shared with everybody, dude. That's beyond awesome. And the fact that you got to help that lady and her do a song with you, dude. Who else can say that they have to have backing vocals from a ghost that they're doing a song about?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
It's so beautiful.
And it's like, dude, that's like so perfect that she actually sang on the song with you, because it meant that much to her that she would actually, use her energy to be on your song, dude. That's unreal.
Yeah.
That is just phenomenal.
Congratulations.
Yeah, really, man.
Thank you.
That's an accomplishment itself. Because I've done this, dude, 58 years, and I've never heard of a spirit singing on a song with the artists like yourself doing it. Now I've heard spirits hum songs before, but it
Yeah.
wasn't something you wrote and you put your passion into your blood, sweat, and tears and your intellectual property and come up with that idea how to pick the music for it, how to pick the words for it. That dude, you got much mass respect for me, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled that you had such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody that I know that has had that much of an experience, that you shared something so powerful and intimate that healed someone that needed it so badly, and it ended in such beauty, of her
Well,
being reunited. So,
Well, especially too, because he had to go through a lot of negative energy in that house along the way, and for you to have that kind of personality, kind of strength and spirituality, dude, it says volumes for you, brother.
Hmm.
Because
I'm
I mean, God, and that I bet every time I bet you hear that, it just makes you smile because like I
you'll see
do.
her again.
Yeah, I know he will. I'll watch. So he'll see her captain too.
Yeah,
That's all right. You'll see them both again. And
Yes.
would you go back?
I've been back there.
Oh,
Have you?
really?
I've
How
had
did it go?
public events there, and you know what? She's never come through ever, not once.
Okay, I'll
Really?
tell you why. All right, this is what spirits have told me before, Sean. Is the afterlife? You have levels just like you do when you're born. You go this, do this. All of a sudden, okay, now when you get crossed over, you have this level of learning, this level, this
Oh
level, this level. And what happens on that, dude, is they have no sense of time, like you said before. So to them, they could go through all the journeys and it'd be 2 or 3 seconds. For us, it might be 2, 3, 4, 5 years, every 3 or 400, 5 years after that. But they told me, dudes, is once they get to the level that they're supposed to achieve, the very top of,
yeah. Hmm.
they can go back to any level they want to, except for the original body that they came out of.
Of course. Yeah, no, I think it was a good thing that she doesn't come in
Yeah,
because I feel like, she's not earthbound anymore. And
no, and you did exactly
her
what
every
you
day. Like
Yep.
I'm here without my captain. So,
Dude, and you can imagine. I know how hard it was. Just being away from my wife and my daughter, being overseas is not being able to see them every day. Hug my daughter, hug my wife, and I can imagine. That spirit has to relive that over and over and over, and it had to be more torture every time she had to go through with it. And the relief that you gave her, dude. Like I said, I got props to you, brother. I mean, that's what we do this for.
hmm
Have you had any other spirits since then? Um, have you had some endearing moments with a spirit that was released from a horrible situation into something with blessing?
I've had so many.
Yeah.
I mean, even this documentary behind me, Maleficus, is the same thing, but it's a very dark story. I mean, I believe I was able to pray for and help free 2 souls of women that were trapped by a demonic force,
Oh God.
tortured and raped and killed,
Mm.
for a place that we were staying at across from a place that used to be a brothel as well. But I knew something evil happened on the property that we were staying at, and we weren't even there to investigate that place. It was a place across the street. Um, and then I found out from the curators they don't like to talk about it, but they said there was an evil doctor doing illegal abortions on the prostitutes of the brothel, and that babies are said to be buried on the property.
Wouldn't doubt it.
So I believe that he was actually torturing and killing and raping them, and in order to get off the street and make them disappear. And yeah, I mean, I had to deal with that demonic force for many
Oh.
years, trying to come after me to retaliate for that, and tried to sabotage a potential relationship with someone. Took the credit for the end of it.
Yeah.
I knew I had to return back to that place after like 4 or 5 years to validate my experiences
Mm-hmm.
5 years before. And we ended up filming the documentary there. And I actually, it was only like a week before I was going there, before I knew I was going to do a documentary. I didn't care because it was messing with my personal life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stayed there for 4 days, and the evidence we got was just absolutely insane, creepy, unsettling, but also showing, the good versus evil aspect. And
Yeah.
I did the exorcism ritual on the place to, rid the evil from that place, and also ultimately for
Nice.
me. So, yeah, I've had many stories about just praying for spirits and things like that. It's a very reoccurring theme in
Yeah.
my
Well,
journey.
Oh, that's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And mine though is right now the bad ones I'm getting are all damn pedophiles. That they're
Oh,
holding.
I don't know what's going on with the pedophile thing for you, but oh my God.
I have probably done at least 15 cases where there's a pedophile spirit still holding children. And like you said, you made that one mad. I made one so mad at Sloss Furnaces because I took 15 kids away from him.
Mm.
And he didn't like me at all. And then I had another one at Paulie Jail. This son of a bitch had like 25 kids. And dude, I've got audio and video. He dog cussed me and called me every name in the book. And I said,
Had you by the throat?
yeah, he tried to choke me. And I'm like, that's the last time you ever choked me. I said, you really want to play jackass? I said, I don't play. And the next thing I knew, I said, hey, bear. One of my spirit animals was a bear, and I got a wolf. All I said was, hey, bear. And you can hear it coming over the audio. You can hear the bear growl. And you hear him go, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then he was very silent. And I said, okay, you met my bear. I said, you still want to play jackass? I'll bring my wolf. And I hear him go, no, sir. Dude, I humbled his ass. I don't know what it is about those damn things.
Hmm.
And I always get them, and I always get the children free. I hate a freaking pedophile to say, oh,
Yeah.
Well, with me, it's slaves. I've
yeah,
been
I
all
get those too.
so many cases. That's probably where I live, but there were two girls that were, well, the guy that was sort of the one that supervised the property, his form of birth control was to I was reading moderate, excuse me. Okay, thank you, Tracy. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Tracy.
Um, was to murder the women so that he didn't have children running around, and so he killed these two women, and then he was hung.
Mm.
So, but now all three of them there in spirit, and he's still able to hang on to them. So we dealt with him, but that would have been, me and Brandon. We did that together. I have a little Cherokee. This is sort of a. It's not really a blessing, but it's like a prayer, and it's called One. And I think this resonates really strongly with what we've been talking about tonight.
Mm.
So this is called One. One tree can start a forest. One smile can begin a friendship. One hand can lift a soul. One word can frame the goal. One candle can wipe out darkness. One laugh can conquer gloom. One hope can raise your spirits, and one touch can show you care. One life can make a difference. Be the one today. So I hope everybody that's listening, watching, I hope you understand what the message is for tonight. We didn't have this plan, but it certainly resonated through that
Yes.
even in death, and you're dealing with a spirit, there's ways with the proper intention in your heart and your desire to help and to love and to heal, you can do that. And that there is eternal souls, that does exist. And, I hope that you're listening, and I hope you're understanding that you do have an effect on people around you, even in the other world, even
Yep.
in the afterlife. So I know I'm running just a few minutes, a great conversation. Thank you. I appreciate that. So now we're going to do a quick prayer, and then we'll be finished for tonight. I would love to have you back, Sean.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So this is a Cherokee prayer blessing. May the warm winds of heaven blow softly upon your house. May the Great Spirit bless all who enter there. And may your moccasins make many happy tracks and many snows.
Yeah.
And may the rainbow always be at your shoulder. Thank you for watching. Family Spirit International. Okay, let me see if I can hit the button. I'm going to do this.
You can do it.
I'm doing it by myself. I'm going to do it.
Dude, thank